All right, welcome back. Welcome in, I should say, to a Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. Another episode on the road. This time we're in Tucson, and this chair that I'm sitting in is really hard to fill because it belongs to Coach Berman, and there's not only some big shoes, but some big chairs to fill down here. But thanks to everybody here at the U of A for bringing us in. It's always fun to take the show on the road. Tonight we're going to have some great guests. We've got Tanner Harris coming in, the new hockey coordinator for University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. We've got the goaltender, Anthony Ciurrro, is going to step in with us. So if you've been hanging around anywhere in Tucson or Phoenix or anywhere in the Valley, you've probably seen Anthony Ciurrro around. He's been at every camp I've been at. So it's exciting to visit with Anthony. And, of course, Coach Berman is going to tell us all about his vacation down to Orlando. I think he went to Disney World or somewhere. So rumor has it there's recruits down there that he was trying to dig up, but we'll ask him about it when he comes on and see if he'll tell us anything. And then from that point, we're going to just step in and talk Wildcat Hockey. As I said, we're calling this show all blue, red, and white, the home of the Arizona Wildcats right here at TCC. Make sure you join us for the entire show, and stay tuned because we're covering the ACHA like nobody else. All right, welcome in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. It's another Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. As you can see behind me, there's a big A on the wall. It's blue and red. We're in Tucson this week. We're bringing in one of the guys off the ice, but one of the newest guys off the ice. So, Tanner Harris, welcome in, and let us know a little bit about what this new title is and what your job responsibilities are going to be with the University of Arizona.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So, like you said, my name is Tanner Harris, and I came in here in July to take over the hockey coordinator position. So this new title is kind of just a way for me to be full-time staff in the office, so Coach Berman can really focus on coaching here at the U of A, and gives me an opportunity to reach out to the students and reach out to various communities around Tucson to really build kind of the hockey program here. Something that we're very proud of that we did last year was win the Community Service Award for the Men's 1 ACHA and the overall ACHA, and that's really something that I'm striving to accomplish again this year. And with having me full-time here, it's going to be a great opportunity for us to reach out more to the community and hopefully be able to get more back.
You know, for people that don't know, you've been around here for a little while, interning with the Roadrunners and here at the U of A as well. So you know the ins and outs of this place, but things are starting to change, aren't they? There's a new expectation in Wildcat hockey.
Yeah, something that Coach Berman has done here is really establish a culture of championship mentality and excellence. So like you said, I've been here for 2 years interning with the Tucson Roadrunners with their media team. And I've also worked as a student coordinator here for 2 years with U of A Hockey, as well as interning with U of A Hockey way back when I was a sophomore. I've spent plenty of time here at the TCC, 5-game weekends here, probably 40, 50 hours for the weekend. But ultimately, it's just really helped me build my knowledge of this arena and this program itself, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
So give us a little background on you and your love for the game. How did you fall in love with hockey, and what drew you to this program here in Tucson?
Yeah, so born and raised here in Tucson, Arizona. I'm a graduate of the University of Arizona. I started watching hockey when I was a young kid. I just turned on the TV and the Coyotes game was on. It was actually my older brother that got me into watching the sport. Grew up a big Shane Doan guy. I was raised by a single mom here, so he was really a guy that I was able to look up to, and he kind of became my idol. And just kind of his mentality and his work ethic, what he did in Arizona really led me to just follow the sport more and more. And when I came here to college, I had no expectation of working in hockey at all ever in my life. But I fell in love with this program when I started working here, and this is exactly where I wanted to end up. And I've been trying to convince Coach Berman to bring me on here since January 1 of this year. So I'm very excited to be here and to really be pushing this program forward into the future.
You know, as we talk right now, it's August, right? School's about ready to start, but hockey's become almost a year-round sport, right? I mean, people are training year-round, people are talking about it year-round. We see that a lot in what I do, but talk a little bit about ACHA hockey and what your plans are for this whole year.
Obviously, ACHA is one of the most competitive organizations in college hockey outside of maybe the NCAA. Our goal is to obviously go in, play games, win games, and bring home that national championship at the end of the year. It's very apparent for me to be really focused on the office stuff, and I can control what I can control. I obviously don't have any control over the guys on the ice, but I'll be working hard and diligently in the office to make sure the guys need what they need to perform the best on the ice when they're at home and when they're away. I'll also be working to bring in people to come see the games and to ultimately promote this program in a way that it's never been promoted before.
You know, the beauty of the facility here at the Tucson Convention Center is there's a lot of seats, right? And when you get the ice time and you get the opportunity to fill those, you can do a lot of promotions. You guys have done that for the years and years that I've been around here watching the program. So tell me about some things coming up. You got anything planned for this year?
Oh, so far we're working hard on building all that stuff right now. And it all starts with kind of some of the biggest events that we do every year, and one of the biggest ones that we do is our Pink the Rink game. So We're going through right now, and we're kind of setting the most important dates, and you can be sure that there'll be at least one Paws and Pucks game this year, as well as our Pink the Rink game. So we're excited to get the dogs in here and to have them cheer for the Cats for a day.
You know what? I also know that Coach Berman is really big into the alumni and bringing the alumni back, and I'm guessing that that's something you want to do as well, is to work on reinforcing the alumni here at the U of A.
Absolutely. Alumni with the hockey team have been great to us, and we want to give them an opportunity to really show them off and show them what we've done, what we've built here when they've been gone, when they've been working, and building that kind of culture here where the alumni is coming back. It's not only going to help our players in the locker room, but in the long term, it's going to help us be national champions.
So, Tanner, before I let you go, give me a few things that you think are important to this program to succeed this year and win that national championship. You got there last year, right? You got to win the conference. You want to win the Cactus Cup. I know all that stuff. But give me some ideas that you think are going to be important for this team to win a national championship.
Yeah, I obviously just think it all starts with just bringing the team together and just really bonding really well. Once the team starts meshing really well, then that's going to allow them to win games on the ice, and just bringing in the fans here, having them cheering, getting the players excited to want to play hockey here in town, and really just establishing that culture of excellence.
All right, I wouldn't let you go without throwing out the website and ways to get a hold of you. More importantly, ways to buy tickets and things to get involved with the program. So how do they do that? How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so ArizonaWildcatHockey.org is obviously the best place to go for kind of all that stuff. You can also find my contact information on the Rec Center website under the staff. But ultimately, just email the U of A Hockey, which is uawildcathockey@gmail.com, and you'll be able to get a hold of me that way. And we will be setting our ticket sales dates pretty soon here in the next couple of days, so that will be released shortly.
All right, Tanner, thanks for your time as always. Good to see you back in the fold here again as not just an intern, but as a full-time person. So good luck this season, and we'll see you many, many times, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Pre-game like a pro, post-game like a champion at College Bar and Grill. Located across the street from the iconic A Mountain and Sun Devil Stadium and a quick walk from Wells Fargo Arena, College Bar and Grill is your home for the best local craft beer, delicious creative cocktails, tasty food, and Tempe's best atmosphere for Arizona State athletics. College Bar and Grill. Pre-game like a pro, post-game like a champion. Online at ilovecollege.co.
All right, welcome back in. Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. This one we're calling the whole rink a red and blue, the whole show red and blue today because it's a U of A broadcast. We're down here in Tucson. And I've got the goaltender with me. I've seen you all over the place again this summer. I've seen you all over the valley in Phoenix doing some camps and doing some different things. But Anthony Ciurrro, tell us a little bit about your summer and what it's been like.
It hasn't been too eventful. I've been in Tucson for most of it. I did some summer classes just to kind of get ahead, and then I've been back and forth from Phoenix to do like I did the BTM goalie camp and instructor there, and then helped out Coach Berman at his camp, and then just kind of been in Tucson and living in the dirty tea. So that's pretty much it.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about last season, and then we'll talk a little bit about this coming season. But last year you guys went places that you hadn't been before in a while, and you went there as champions, right? You could say you were a Cactus Cup champion, you were a conference champion, got a good seed into the tournament, played the last game in the national tournament. Talk about that whole season, kind of recap it for us.
It was definitely something special. I think the team gelled really well just from the beginning of the season, and it really showed in our success. I mean, we've never won a conference championship, and being the first team to do that here is it's really special. I mean, obviously the national tournament didn't go the way we wanted to, but I mean, we have a lot of returners coming back this year, so I mean, we're gonna be hungry this year, and I mean, our goal is to win that national tournament, so it should be good.
Okay, so that's a recap of last year. A lot of things are changing this year, though, including a new team here in the West in the ACHA D1 with Grand Canyon. You're familiar with them. You've seen them before, but now they're recruiting on the ACHA D1 level. How important is it to you to see the growth to where you get some more competition locally?
It's huge for us. I mean, we don't have to travel as far to go play ACHA teams. So, I mean, having Grand Canyon down a 2-hour drive is nice. I mean, and they should have a good team this year too, so it should help our strength schedule, which is huge, especially in the ACHA because it's a lot of computer-based rankings and stuff like that. So, I mean, being from Arizona and seeing the growth of the game is also, I mean, it's amazing how much it's grown. So, yeah.
We can talk about Randy's BTM camp, the goalie camp up there, and you've seen the growth there, haven't you, over the years?
Yeah, and it seems like it gets younger and younger every year for goalie, for the age-wise. So I mean, this year is really young, and I mean, I think next year will even be younger. It's just growing, and yeah.
I saw some new pads, something coming with red, white, and blue coming out a little bit, or tell us a little bit about those new pads coming your way.
Yeah, I got new pads over the summer. I really only worn them twice because I've been in Tucson. There's been no ice, so I mean, BTM hooked it up, so I couldn't say no.
Let's talk about what that big A that you're wearing on your shirt means when you go around the Phoenix area right now. A lot of people are asking about U of A hockey, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely growing. Being successful really helps. Kind of open people's eyes to hockey in Tucson, and then, I mean, we have the Roadrunners here, but I think even with them there or with them here, I mean, I think we're still probably the #1 team in Tucson for Tucson locals and people like that.
Okay, so let's talk about you specifically. You ask any coach at any level, right? And he wants to start with a solid goaltender and building his way out. Does that put added pressure on you?
I don't think so. I mean, if it does, I like the pressure. I mean, I think it helps me play to a higher ability. I mean, I've been playing for I don't even know how many years, so I mean, I don't think I really get added pressure onto me. I think it just helps me, I mean, work harder and want to be better.
So when I talk to goaltenders, most of them will tell me that it's imperative that you forget about the previous goal allowed or whatever. You just block it out and move on. How do you do that, though? Are there mental things that you have to work on, forget that, or is that something that's just in your DNA?
I mean, it's something that you kind of get used to growing up playing.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I definitely didn't know how to do that. It's just getting used to it as you grow older and, I mean, play the game more, and it just kind of falls in.
One advantage you have of playing here at TCC is you have a nice home crowd, right? They're pretty spirited both ways against the opposition and for you. But when you're on the road and you got to face opposition, how do you block that out?
I mean, just not listen to them, I guess.
Earplugs, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just kind of zone them out. I mean, like when we go to Central Oklahoma, their fans are pretty crazy. So, and they're always yelling behind the net. I just gotta zone them out, and I mean, I don't even hear them anymore.
I always like to finish up with my ACHA players to talk a little bit about just how dedicated you have to be to play ACHA hockey, right? It's not the cushy thing that you get in the NCAA where everything's covered for you and everybody's taking care of you. You got to be a student. You got to pay to play. You got to be determined to keep your grades up. You got to do all those things. So how difficult is that?
I mean, it's pretty difficult. I mean, we're at the rink, I mean, probably 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day at least, and having to go home and do homework after that, and then you have class all day before practice. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing is keeping the grades up is probably the most difficult thing. I mean, especially when we're on the road, we miss Wednesday through Friday for classes, so that, I mean, that definitely hurts, and it's doing homework on the bus and when we get to the hotel. I And I think that's the most challenging thing. But, I mean, I think we have a good system the way we do it. I mean, Coach Berman gives us a lot of leeway to, I mean, if we need to do school stuff, he understands.
Anthony Ciurrro, I appreciate the time as always. We always pick you up when we're down here because usually you're the spotlight when we watch a U of A game. So good luck this year. Best of luck the rest of the season. And let's get into that national tournament and do some damage.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Michael here from M-Drive. My dad, a world-class scientist, actually made M-Drive for himself to stay active and continue enjoying life. And yes, M-Drive supports healthy testosterone, but it's so much more. M-Drive is the everyday supplement to fuel your drive with more energy and more strength. Listen, we'd love for you to try M-Drive too. Visit mdriveformen.com and we'll give you 20% off your first purchase. Just type in the code DRIVE at checkout. Refine your prime with M-Drive.
All right, welcome back in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. We're still here. We're still in the old Pueblo. We're in Tucson. We're at the Tucson Convention Center in the locker room, the coach's office of Coach Chad Berman. So, Coach, again, thanks for having us in. We got into the depth in the last segment, just talking about the importance of it, but let's try to put some faces and some names and some numbers to some of that depth that people will see when they follow U of A Wildcat hockey.
Obviously, right off the bat, I know we're talking depth, but right off the bat, you return to the top scorers in the ACHA and Marshall and Cusinelli. That's a good start. Right, and then you return, Ciurrro, the all-conference goaltender. That's a good start. We were very, very particular in what we wanted to add this year. I turned down some of the best hockey players I've ever turned down to come here because we were so particular in what we wanted. Having only one player graduated, we had that ability this summer to do that. And so we really wanted to add, obviously our identity is transition and speed, and we want to continue to add skill and speed, but we really wanted to add grit. We wanted to add guys who are going to win battles. So we're really excited. Jesse Lowell's a kid who immediately we got pretty early in the summer. It was a good start to that. It's hard to find kids who play a 200-foot game like him, but can win battles like him and are hungry like him. And he had an older brother who played here in the past, so an alumni connection is always good. Right. And then Alex Johansson from Trine, that kid he thrives in the trenches, so he's exactly what we needed. We've got a lot of skill, but we needed guys to complement that skill and to add to that. And so that obviously is going to give us a big boost. And then on top of that, Timor, the kid who played 3 years in the North American League as a defenseman, he was a captain there with Maryland. We got really fortunate to get him. He's a very skilled player. He's a leader. He's a kid who carries himself very well. Character always matters to what we add to our program, and so he's an absolute home run. We expect him to be an instant impact top defenseman for us right off the bat. So we're starting to round out some things, but add to depth. And your depth comes from your return. Like, the biggest strides you're going to make are in the summer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing even some of the seniors. Like, I challenged Cam a little this summer. He needs to come back and have the best summer, and he claims he's done that, and we're going to see here when he gets here. But I'm excited to see how that pays off as far as Cam Armstrong. Ethan Stahlheath gets better every single summer because he puts in the work, and he's a good example of what work can get you. He came into this program as a bubble guy, and now he's been a top 6, top 9 guy, and he just keeps getting better, and I'm excited to see the steps he makes. Cully Olson's another kid we want to see, Step Dickinson, Meyer, Wade. There's just so many kids who, we were kind of young in a sense last year, but, like, we had a lot of older guys, but we had a young wave. That young wave is going to be a big part of our push, and so there's different ways to add depth. We're excited about our recruiting class. We're excited about the younger guys putting in another summer of work and coming back knowing what to expect, and hopefully that pays off. And we didn't even touch on goaltending, but obviously Nolan Bivelsik's another kid who's a very good goaltender, and I think he's hungry to earn more opportunities, and hopefully that pushes Ciurrro.
So what I gathered from all that was all the guys that you had on your roster last year had room to improve, which is kind of cool, isn't it? If you got guys that aren't maxed out yet at their ability level, but they can always get better.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. In my opinion, you're either rotting or you're growing, so you can decide when you wake up what that's going to be. But I needed to improve this summer. I needed to get better, and I feel like I've made some improvement myself, and we're just excited to get after it.
Well, you made some improvement in your staff. We already talked to your hockey coordinator, and things are growing here at the U of A in leaps and bounds, really. I mean, the only thing I can think of that would make it different would be as if you guys had your own ice sheet. Are we getting close to that yet? Are we going to finally get that?
It'd be great. Let me know. Yeah, it'd be great. You know, again, we control what we can control, and you know, we're preparing. We got a new flooring, so hopefully the ice is a little faster, and we certainly enjoy playing at home here and getting that home ice advantage. We were pretty strong last season at home, and I think if you're going to be a top team in the country, you need to be dominant at home. So we got to continue that. But you know, we got a group here that's returning, that understands it, that's dealt with it. I think we'll make some adjustments as far as more Chandler practices this year, and you know, it's been a 5-year tinkering process that will carry on.
All right, let's take another quick break. Let's come back and talk a little bit about that schedule, because I saw it officially the other day online, and I'm pretty impressed by what you put together. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. It's Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. We're not live today, but we are recording this for you, so Thursday is going to be a big day because it's all blue, red, and Wildcat Hockey Talk. Coach Berman is with me for another segment. We've got the schedule out. I saw it come out online. I looked at it like I do everybody's schedule right away, and I'm going like, whoa, this is a good schedule. How'd you put it together?
It was a mission of mine to get a stronger schedule. Yeah. I mean, and you know, you got to try to do that within the confines of the budgeting. You know, we'd love to go to the Minot States and the Lindenwoods. You know, Grand Canyon helps us out by coming in, and UNLV being as competitive as they are helps us a lot. You know, and I'm excited to see what ASU is doing. I think they're going to be better next year too, and I think that's good for the rivalry and for both of our strength of schedules moving forward in our preparation. So, you know, some of that stuff was a little bit of luck, and then we were fortunate to get Western Michigan in town, which, you know, I always like those Midwest teams because we get so many of those snowbirds that, you know, are out here in Tucson that want to see the teams from the towns they're from. And I'm from Michigan, so it'll be cool to see the Broncos in town here. And, you know, they get a lot of those NA kids, and those, you know, they got a good hockey team there. You know, there's such a hockey hotbed in that area that I'm sure those are going to be great games coming to town. So, yeah, we're excited about the schedule, and all 6 games against ASU for the first time in a while are at 7:30 on a Friday, Saturday night, so that's a huge boost for us. Yep. And, you know, it should be a fun season. So,
kick it off. Where are we starting for you guys? What's the first game of the season?
Yeah, we don't exactly dip our toe in the water. Right off the bat, we head to enemy territory and go to Tempe and play Arizona State for 2 games. I'm sure those are going to be a significant challenge for us right off the hop to go on the road. You know, obviously always a challenge to play your rivals on the road, and excited to see how we're tested early, and then it doesn't get any easier after that. Probably the hardest road trip of the year is Oklahoma. You know, Oklahoma's had our number for a few years, and we're gonna see them on that Thursday night. And UCO, I mean, we've only beaten them once in my time here at their building. It is the hardest building for us to play in for whatever reason. It's a different challenge there. It's a dark building. It's a different feel. But that's gonna, you know, we're trying to defend our conference championship. We're going to have a bullseye in our back, and that's going to test us right off the back. So I think the positive is we're going to find out what we're made of, what we need to do, and you know, we're going to dive right into it, and then finally we get to come home and play Colorado on a Thursday night for our home opener.
So it's no secret that you guys generally have to start on the road just for ice purposes, right? When do you get to come home? When's that home opener?
Yeah, so the home opener is going to be October 17th on a Thursday night. It's going to be one of them fancy thirsty Thursdays. So if you guys get thirsty, come on down. Colorado's, I'm expecting big things. They always have a good program there. And then Friday, Saturday, we'll be playing Colorado State at 1 o'clock. And, you know, it's just conference games one after another there. And, you know, we better be prepared to go. And our guys are training, and you know, they certainly got a text message or two reminding them that how important this last stretch of their training is to prepare for that. And so, you know, we've got a mature group, a championship caliber group that understands that. I have no doubt they're putting in their work, and they're going to have to, because the competition is going to be steep for ice time.
I always like to remind people that ACHA D1 is a different kind of hockey season, right? You've got your Cactus Cup with ASU that you battle for. You've got your conference that you battle for. But really what matters down the stretch is that strength of schedule, the win-loss record, and more importantly, that top ranking position, because that gets you not only into the national tournament, but where you're seated in the national tournament. Yeah. So at the beginning of the year, we're sitting here in August right now. Is there a position where you'd like to be? Obviously number 1, but I mean, where's a comfortable position in that ranking come the end of February?
Yeah, I try not to emphasize too much the rankings. You know, those things are going to be the result of our work that we put in. And so ultimately, if we focus on the process, that stuff will take care of itself. You know, in saying that, you know, last year I wanted to be in that top 10 picture. We got in there. I'd like to be in that top 5 this year, and it's really hard to do. You know, you want to set yourself up for success in that tournament. And in saying that, the 16, 17, 18 seeds, those are no slouch. Those are really good teams. So, and that's a great sign of growth for the ACHA. But we want to get in that top 5. You want to get that auto bid, that first game as a bye. And most importantly, that means, you know, in my opinion, if you're in that top 5, you got a good shot to win it. But of course, you know, last year showed us anybody can, because that Final Four, you know, was a different picture. And again, it's a credit to the league, but ultimately it's about us getting better. That's really what we got to focus on.
So we'll get through the season, but we'll look ahead as well to another trip to Texas. What did you think of Texas and the way they put on that tournament? And what does that say about the ACHA and their ability to, you know, evolve, basically?
I loved it. I mean, for us, it's a bus ride, so that was great. A lot of people in the league didn't like it because they had to fly out, and I'm like, well, what do you think we've been doing for the last, you know, a little bit? So it's nice for us. I thought the facilities were great. I love the venue, the setup, seeing kind of all the banners up. I thought it was a great setup. Obviously, I'd like the glass to stay in this year, so we're not having lengthy delays, and I'm sure we got a year to figure that out. But I thought it was a great setup. The Dallas Stars did a good job of putting it together, and I'm excited to go back there again. We've got some familiarity. We like their hotel. We'll keep that in lock across the street. And that tournament's just – I'm a huge fan of the tournament. If in the past when we weren't in the tournament, I watched every game. When we're there, I watch every game. I just am a fan of the ACHA, what they're building, and the tournament itself. So it's fun to be, you know, I was fortunate to go to the last game when I was with RMU, and I want these guys to feel that ride and what that means. And so hopefully next year we can advance and, you know, experience that to a larger degree. But, you know, there's something about going into that building, getting that first practice, you're sizing yourself up against everybody. And I love it all on the line for one game. I love the one and dones. I like pressure personally. I think you've earned the right to be in that position. And if you don't have pressure, we've had that before in the past, it means you're not very good. So that's not fun.
Well, we know what it's like here at the TCC when you guys are playing. The crowds are into it. It's exciting. It's probably one of the best atmospheres, if not the best atmosphere in college hockey, ACHA college hockey for sure. But what are other things that you're looking forward to playing? You mentioned UCO and the ability there, but I heard some rumors that maybe you might play GCU over at Gila River. Is that still a possibility, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping. It's something we'd always like to do. I'd love to play Vegas out on their NHL sheet there too. You know, it's something we're hoping on. We kind of waiting on scheduling to see if that can happen. But ultimately, what we're trying to provide here is an unbelievable experience for our kids, and I can't think of a better way to do it than that. We were fortunate. My senior class 2 years ago was fortunate enough to have that experience against ASU for their first Division I game at Gila River.
Right.
And it was, you know, when they graduated, that's what they talked about. One of their most popular experiences was playing on an NHL rink and getting that experience. And so we would love to at any time provide that kind of opportunity for our guys. And you know, I can't imagine a cooler thing. I think we played 3-on-3, and I think I called 3-on-3 just so I could play and get the experience. So maybe not my Achilles anymore, but you know, it's fun for everybody, and obviously we love playing here. There's an amazing buzz going on. I'm feeling it with faculty, staff around town, in the grocery store. We released our season ticket schedule end of last week, and literally in less than 2 days, 11,000 plus people have viewed our schedule. And so there's just such a buzz going on about the team, and I'm excited to see how the audience and the crowd grows next year, and our guys feed off that. So it's going to be huge.
I know it's early, but anything new and exciting on the schedule? I know you guys always do a military night type thing and Pink the Rink and all that stuff that Tanner talked about. But anything new this year that you want to do, or is it just paws and pucks for sure?
Well, yeah, we're always looking to grow and do new things. That's why we're paying Tanner the big bucks, so he can pass the baton on. But definitely Pink the Rink's a staple. We're going to do later in the year, and you know, we've raised over $10,000 every year for the University of Arizona Cancer Center, and so we love to continue that. Fortunate enough that we've been able to win 2 of the last 3 community service awards, and it's a result of, you know, these things, and it starts with, we provide the platform for these things. But if our fans don't come out, it doesn't happen. So our fan base supporting us is huge. Our players, what you guys don't see is them in the hospitals visiting the kids and reading to kids in the classroom. And until you see Manny Rowe being chased by like 30 kids on a jungle gym, you just don't understand how great of people we have in this organization. So
next time you do that, I want video of that, okay?
Oh, absolutely. I've got plenty of documented stuff. People love Manny Rowe. He's a hit around here. And Larson and Plum. I mean, they're just so good with the kids. But I've digressed a little here. But we're going to do the Pucks and Paws. We're always looking for new ideas, different ways to do. We're going to do, we raised about $3,500 for schools. We want to expand that. We want to get a whole school district in here. Love to have it against UNLV, so we have a crowd. And so we're shooting for a Saturday UNLV game for that. And always looking for new ideas. We want to support the community. We see it as a responsibility with our platform to provide for the community, and we're definitely going to continue to do that and find new ways and new avenues to support Tucson.
Coach Berman, it's fun as always to come down here to Tucson. I know I haven't been down here often enough because I was looking for the right exit today. So that tells me I got to make some more trips down here. You'll see us during the wintertime. It's going to be a fun season. I'm looking forward to it. I know your opponents are looking forward to it because everywhere I go they ask about you. Okay. So they've got you on their mind. I think that's the target when you win a conference and you make a national tournament and you get a top 10 seed. So thanks for having us in. Thanks for talking hockey with us in the middle of summer, and good luck this year.
Thanks so much.